we sit with Ron Capps, kind of literally in the middle of the action as the teams are wrenching on both cars, and Ron getting ready to make another kind of drive down the highway of the NHRA season this year.
Yeah, and this is kind of like you said, it's relaxed. It's right now the Napa team, the Die Hard team are kind of butted up next to each other as far as the pit area, and it's way more relaxed. You could tell the fans that showed up here last night, it was a treat for them because they could tell that we were a little more relaxed. The drivers are just happy to be back in a race car. The crew guy, everybody's just happy to be burning nitro again. So this is kind of nice. We're obviously tonight, there's 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock sessions. I don't want to say the mandatory, but that's what we're here for the fans. But several teams are making runs today, so we're probably going to make 4 today.
I know a lot of the teams are kind of using different metrics to judge what a successful week has been. What's it been for you guys?
It's funny. You kind of look around, and I know Zippy just ran 4:03 a little while ago. Got some cloud cover. Conditions are good. When the clouds disappear, the sun gets on it really quickly, so you're able to, if you wanted to, go up there and sit in the staging lanes, wait a few minutes. If the sun pops out, you can get pretty quickly a track that warms up and give you conditions that you might want for a day run, let's say, at a race coming up down the road. And I say that because a lot of teams, even though we're trying to run the best we can and leave here as the #1 guy, you still are testing. And it's the numbers, you can see them, they're not indicative really of what's going on in each pit area. Some guys are done testing and they're just, you could call it practicing, they're just making laps and see how quick they can go. We're still in a test mode. We got the new chassis and all that we've talked about, so we're still kind of playing with some things, but to be honest with you, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball here because we only got 2 more runs tonight to make, and we really want to get our testing done and then get after it tonight.
The off season obviously busy for you. I know just recently you shot the commercial for Napa. How'd that go?
Went really well. Flew there. It's kind of like last year with the song, the Napa Know How at the end, like I was singing last year, except the premise this year is I'm walking through the parking lot and the fans are out there tailgating, and you'll have to wait and see, but I'm going through their little campsites there when they're tailgating and doing different funny things, so it's going to turn out really well. Napa always does great commercials, so that was fun. Went straight to Charlotte, did that, and came straight here, so it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, and there are guys, I think they're almost phobic to do stuff like that. I mean, you really seem to enjoy it.
I enjoy it. Gosh, you realize, it gives you an appreciation now when I sit at home and watch a DVD or go to the movie theaters and you watch, because it's such a production. I put pictures up on the Facebook and
Sure.
Twitter and all that of the whole cast and crew eating lunch the one day, and there's like 80 people on the set for a commercial. It's unbelievable how much goes on, and learning your lines, how hard it is to get that down and not mess up with all those people. I mean, it's a lot of money going on. A lot of stuff behind the scenes that you never would have realized, and but it's neat. You show up, there's a trailer with your name on it. It's just like being at the movies, you know. So I've gotten used to it every year, but it's a lot of fun that a lot of people don't ever get to do, and I'm lucky to do it, but still not real comfortable doing it.
Talking about comfortability, how's it been working out with John Medlin? I mean, how are you guys kind of meshing together?
He's a blessing to be around. He really is. The guys, I can't even tell you how cool. You ask anybody that's ever worked for him, and they'll tell you how neat it is that he takes the time to explain everything to each crew member. I just prior to talking to you here, he had one of the guys that's our new kid, and he's in there explaining something that the kid probably will never do in maybe 4 or 5 years as a crew member until he gets elevated to that position. But John's taking the time to explain it to him, and he's just that way. He's great to work with, a great person, and so smart. The way you have to ask him to dumb it down a little bit when he's explaining something, because he'll start throwing Einstein stuff at you, and I look like that dog when there's a high-pitched sound where I kind of bring it down a little bit, John. Let's bring it. He gets so excited and gets going on things that, shoot, this morning we were talking about at the hospital there where Eric was taken to, and how it's one of the best in the world for brain surgeries and such, and he's working with them, and how he wants to hook them up with NHRA and do all this stuff, and he's excited about talking about just things that excite him. And this race car, when he gets going on it, he's so much fun to be around, so it's fun to go to battle with him.
That's great. How does the relationship between a driver and a crew chief kind of evolve? Obviously, you've done this enough now that is it still kind of an education deal? I mean, how does a new driver and a crew chief interact versus a veteran like yourself and a guy like John?
Well, I've been in situations where a new crew chief is brought in that you either don't know or maybe you don't get along with. I mean, there's guys out here that absolutely don't get along with their crew chiefs that don't get along with their drivers that run real well. And it can go either way, but it's obviously way better. And I've always seemed to get along with pretty much anybody out here. It's they become your family, but the relationship you get with a crew chief has to be, I think, one like a quarterback and a center, or you have to be on the same page. But the biggest thing is the trust factor, and the one thing with John and with most of the crew chiefs I've gotten to work with, and I've gotten to work with great legendary people. It's been an awesome thing. Is the amount of trust. Basically, that they know that they don't have to worry about you in the car. Like the trust you have that they're going to give you a car that's not going to go out and blow up every run. They know that I'm going to get in the car and they can rely on me doing the absolutely same thing every time, the best job I can do, without mistakes, hopefully, and do my best to keep it in the groove and all that stuff. And it's just, when you have that going, there's nothing like it. It just flows good, and it's that confidence. And you hear people talk about it, and it's all cliche sounding, but it's just. It's hard to come by, but you notice things. Look at Forrest and Coyle all those years. They were the odd couple.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a lot of that going on around here. But sometimes you get egos here with a driver or a crew chief, and I've seen it other places that I never would want that. And I'm lucky enough never to have to worry about that.
Well, that's excellent. Obviously, you come into this season like you've come into many others, a championship contender. I'm sure you want to get out of the gate strong at Pomona.
Yeah, But, the mentality's changed here since the countdown a few years ago started. Not good or bad, I'm just saying it's different. You just have to look at it different. It's like it used to be, okay, Pomona, it's do or die to get off on the right foot and just start winning races. You just really had to be counting the points early, and don't necessarily have to do that as much, because you just got to make sure you're in a good place in the countdown and then get after it. So. But it's going to be fun, man. I really enjoy everything we get to do. I can't wait. The 60th anniversary this year, the stuff they're going to do with some of the legends, it'll be fun throughout the year. The March meet I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Well, Ron, thanks for taking some time to sit down with us. Wish you the best of luck in 2011, and be looking at you on the racetrack this afternoon and tonight.
You got it. Thanks.
Thanks, Ron.